Hey guys, I'm going to throw together a little video about a TIG welding stand that I built. Now there's not going to be a lot of the build of the stand in the video as far as cutting cutting the pieces of metal to build the stand or welding the stand. It's just going to be more about how I kind of made the stand and kind of about TIG welding. I haven't TIG welded in a long time, and I've kind of been looking for a TIG welder for some projects that I have that I want to do that require TIG welding. Probably a month ago from when I shot this video, um, I bought a Lincoln TIG welder, the new square wave inverter style TIG welder. Really happy with it. I got it back, I bought it, got it here, kind of threw it up on the bench, welding bench, because I logically didn't have a stand for it yet. And like a kid at Christmas, wanted to start TIG welding right away. So this is kind of probably the introduction into this video is kind of more about what not to do when you're TIG welding. I'm going to show you a clip of me TIG welding, and there's a lot of things wrong with it. First of all, don't take into consideration the piece that I'm TIG welding on. It was a mock-up of something that I'm going to be building in the future, an intake manifold for a Cummins diesel engine. But it was just some light gauge tubing that I MIG welded together kind of real fast, just to again mock up this as a trial to see if it could be done, what the ins and outs of it were going to be, how I could weld it out in reality, you know, get into crevices and TIG weld in hard areas, just to see if it would fit into the engine compartment of a truck. So again, don't look at the piece per se, just look at what I did, and what I did is very evident. Again, I got the TIG welder, threw it onto the top of the welding table, and set a piece of material up right in front of the welder to TIG weld. Never cleaned it. Again, hadn't TIG welded in a long time. Of course, the blower from the inverter style TIG welder was blowing right on it, so it was kind of blowing all of the gas away. So you'll kind of see it, the mistakes that I made, and kind of more of this video is about how I built the cart, what materials I used, what I did right, what I think I might have done wrong with the cart, not as much building it. So hopefully a short video, and take a look at some of the mistakes, try and catch some of the mistakes that I made with my first TIG welds with a new TIG welder. Again, probably hadn't TIG welded in, I'm gonna say 30 years. So here we go, and I'll bring you back. tell from like the whiffs of smoke that were coming off the welds. The gas was just being blown away. You probably, from the smoke and some of the sparks from not being cleaned, you could tell that it wasn't cleaned properly. So I guess the point is, if you start TIG welding or doing any welding and you're having issues, just take a good look at what you're doing versus what should be done. Think about everything. Are you getting proper gas flow? Is the shielding gas being blown away by something? Do you have the doors open? Are you outside? Is the shielding gas being blown away? Take a look at a lot of things. Are you cleaning the metal properly before you're doing the welds? Are you using the right size tungsten? Are you using the right size gas lens cup? Are your settings right? So just take a lot of things, be kind of critical with yourself, and take a look at what you're doing overall. So I'm going to show you, probably the next scene will be what I did is start building the frame. I used a Tig Welder on the top of the bench still to start tacking up some of the frame pieces, and then what I did is MIG welded it out. But basically what the video is going to be about is just how the frame was built, the stand was built for the Tig Welder, what I kind of like and don't like about how I did it. So there will be a lot more videos to come in the future of me doing different things, so just stay tuned. Bring you back. I just thought I'd shoot some of this. I'm not going to shoot a lot of it. What I'm doing is building a stand for the Tig Welder that I just got. There's a lot of stands that are built on YouTube, or you can buy them. I just wanted to build it. Had some extra material laying around, so I figured I might as well use it and just build it instead of buying one. So again, I'm not going to shoot the whole thing. I've kind of got most of it built up here. Just putting these 45 like gussets in to support the shelf that the welder is going to sit on, even though it's not very heavy. Just some stability. Figured I'd shoot a little video. Here's a welding cart. I just got done painting it, so gotta let it dry, cut that chain back to a reasonable length. But here's what it looks like while I'm done, when I've got it done. I'll bring you back and I'll give you a shot of it with the all the stuff on it. I went out and got some casters for it. In hindsight, it kind of looks disproportional with those small casters on it, but you know, in hindsight, if I had to do it over again, I would get a little better, bigger casters. Not that they aren't rated for it; those casters are rated for, I think it's either 75 or 100 pounds a piece. But so the casters are heavy enough. It's just that they kind of look disproportional to the cart. They're too small. But as you kind of notice, I angled the shelf up a little bit where the TIG welder is going to be sitting, just so that when you're looking at it, it'll probably be a little bit easier to read the display on it and see what your settings are. And also, if that thing does slope down, it'll compensate, but I don't think it'll slope down. The welder doesn't weigh that much. It probably only weighs like 40 pounds or so. But anyways, there it is. I'll bring you back after it gets dry and I get it all set up. See ya. Okay, so here it is. It's done. Got the stuff mounted on it, or the machine mounted on it. Of course, that foot pedal won't be staying underneath there, but it's just wanted to kind of give you an overview of it being completed. The boxes are, this is actually a 220 110 machine. I use it on 220, but the 110 cord is down there. Also, it came with a stinger, so that's in that box down there. Not sure if I'll ever use it. May try it out once in a while, or once just to see how it works. But there it is. It's all complete. That M bracket worked out good for that tank. I positioned it so that the it didn't interfere with the leads coming out of the back of the machine, the gas and the power lead. But again, there it is. And in hindsight, I would have made them wheels a little bit larger. I tilted it up a little bit. I think it's really at a good level. Tilted it up a little bit, the machine base up, the shelf up a little bit, so that it would be easier to read, easier to see what was going on. Good access level. Bigger wheels might have been a better access level, but I've got to give that up. Anyways, there it is. It's complete. On to the next thing. Probably the engine build will be the next thing that's on my agenda for now. Well, the other thing that's on the agenda is I'm trying to get these tires off of this tractor. Having an issue with it. I got the wedges broke loose on one side. Now there's two wedges in this thing. There's an outer wedge and an inner wedge, and what you do is break this outer wedge out, unscrew it out so that it comes clear of the outside of the hub. Put this tool on, and then you can you're supposed to be able to break that inner wedge free with this tool. And I beat on it, had other people beat on it. Hasn't broken free yet, but it'll come. So that's an ongoing process, getting these rear wheels off of this tractor, and then in between building the Cummins, I've got to get into this transmission and fix the hydraulic pump, put a new clutch in it, kind of clean it up more, maybe sandblast it and paint it up. And again, I'm going to try and run it stock this year. Now, it's middle of March, and it's here it sits, and I've got other things that I've got to get done. But I really didn't. Again, I was going to run it stock this year, so you know, whether I make the first pull or not, it's very highly unlikely unless something changes. But even if I make some pulls, you know, even get it back together in midsummer and then make some pulls with it in stock class, that'll be good for me. And then we'll think about building it into a 10,000 Pro stock next year. But anyways, that's it.